If you are into Fnaf, like me, you probably already know that a new game has been released, gathering everyone's attention. Five Nights at Friedrich's. Oh yeah! To be really honest, I was kind of curious and also confused as for why the community seemed to instantly love this game so much. So, obviously, I had to try it. And let me tell you, I wasn't ready for what I played. Even before getting to the game, we are hit with a severe case of jazz. Man, this game is already winning me over with just the menu. Hitting new game, we get a newspaper, and it already sets the tone for the rest of the game. You know that the game is going to be good when in the first few seconds you see someone ranting about the fact that the new president is a frog and a journalist complaining about his job. Night 1 starts and we get no call. Instead we have this handy employee's handbook. Oh, well, at least in the backside has some information. Oh yes, the good old Plisper, as iconic as Fallout's special. But what does Plisper stands for? Always make sure a pizza is cooking in camera 10. Use those lasers to zap unwanted visitors. Use the sprinklers in the case of an emergency. Don't just waste your power. And remember to read the notes. To be really honest, that is a really good way to give instructions without unnecessary yapping. Just like the original, on the first night, only Chica and Bonnie are active. What? Excuse me, I meant Bernard and Clara. And damn! Bernard is swole! Also, he does not look anything like he does in the posters. And what is this design for Clara? Let us partake in consumption. What the fuck? Wow. They do not work the same as Bonnie and Chica. Clara is kind of like the puppet. She's the reason that you keep cooking pizzas. If there isn't a pizza cooking, she will start messing with the kitchen. And if you take too long, she starts a fire! Holy shit! If you don't use the sprinklers, your PC shuts down due to overheating. And then you die in a very flumpty way. Bernard is slightly similar to how Bonnie works. He will make his way towards your office and holy shit, he moved! I mean, sure, all of the animatronics move, but never on camera. Yeah, one of the things that makes this game so unique is the fact that every single animatronic has an animation for when they enter and when they leave a room. So if you're lucky, you'll be able to catch them on the move. The attention to detail is just mwah, beautiful. Where was I again? Oh yeah, Bernard can enter your office through both hallways. And when he's at your door, you can see his hand. But you cannot close the doors, because there isn't any. You actually activate a laser gate to shoo him away. And I love that he legit seems surprised by that. This game is so silly. I love it. Since the first night is slower, there's some extra time to appreciate the visuals. Like the references on your office, or the animations that are smooth like butter, and the character designs that are super unique and full of character. Don't get me wrong, I really love the more realistic graphics, like the joy of creation, but there's something so charming about hand-drawn graphics. On the second night, two more characters are active, Foxy and the Endoskeleton. The Endoskelet, love the German names, work the same as Bernard, with a slight difference. Bernard doesn't make any noise when he gets to your door, but Endo will make this very noticeable static noise. Also, he does this. Now, Foxy Or Felix. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. What happened to you? If you are actually curious about why Felix looks so wrecked, the game actually gives an explanation. And it has to do with Bernard. Sometimes when checking the cameras, the arcade machines will start to glow, and you can click on them to be teleported to a minigame, which I am very sure that was inspired by WarioWare. And again, I love that. I love references. On the Felix's Wheel minigame, we can see that Bonnie is playing a kind of spin the wheel game with Felix, I think. And this happens. Well, now we know how Bernard got yoked. Anyways, Felix does run to your door, but he doesn't kill you. He only deactivates your laser. To get rid of him, you gotta go to his camera and press spin the wheel. Apparently, Felix has ADHD and likes spinning things. Like me! Night 3 introduces the big man himself, Friedrich Fazbear. Wunderbar! The game states that his legs are fixed in place. He doesn't walk to your office, but he will make his way through the ventilation. And you know that because of a sound cue. When he gets really close, you gotta use the laser gates. This game cracks me up. That's about it for this night. Since that was so short, I will talk a little bit about the other minigames. Clicking on Clara's arcade, you get the Cooking Clara minigame. I am pretty sure that this one was inspired by Club Penguin. It's very intuitive, just make the pizzas. Despite the pizzas getting a little bit more cursed, the only notable thing are those technician guys. On the last minigame, Freed Runner, we get to see what happened to them. Night 4 is completely dark. That is the low power mode. So basically, as I said, everything's dark, you can only see the animatronic's eyes, and you don't have a battery percentage. But if you max out your energy usage, the system will shut down. So yeah, be careful with that. I think that this is such a neat idea, because it forces us to rely more on sound cues, and to gather as much information as possible. The biggest threat this level is definitely Bernard, because, as I said, he doesn't have any sound cues, but also, when he's at our door, you can only see his fingies. You gotta have a sharp eye. When it's about 3 AM, some cameras will simply be deactivated, and also you can see a kind of purple figure on some cameras. Well, thankfully it's almost 6 AM, so we can get... Jesus Christ, man! From every single Fnaf game out there, I was not expecting to get spring-locked on this one. But fear not, because that is not the end, folks. Bitch. Night 5 is kind of like a boss fight. It even has stages, and it may be one of the best final nights from every single Fnaf game ever made. I mean, I know that it's technically not the final night, but pretend it is. In the extras, we can see that we were playing as Alan Fritter, aka Lilaman. But now, we are playing as Springtrap. Or this. This is probably the only Fnaf fan game ever that we play as Springtrap. Oh, and listen to the soundtrack. Warning, warning. The Genesis meter is overloading. The The only bad thing about this is that the soundtracks sometimes make it harder to hear the sound cues. So I recommend going to the options and turning down the music volume. During phase 1, Golden Friedrich, I'll call him GF for short, you will hear a sound effect. And when you do, you have to search for him on the cameras. And this game has a lot of cameras, so sometimes you will not be able to find him on time. But worry not, because he will not kill you, he will only start a fire. I thought that only happened in the third game. Well, there isn't much to say, besides be fast, use the sprinklers. Oh, and don't forget the pizza. Always cook a pizza. Also, just as a side note, but I noticed a little detail that I think it's amazing. You can tell when it's about to change hours because of the soundtrack. Just before it's time to change, the music will always play this drum solo. Listen. On phase 2, GF will activate Felix, Bernard and Endo. Not only that, but he will also attack you directly. When you hear his laugh, check both doors and the vent. In phase 3, not only does he activate Friedrich, but now he will appear right in front of you. And what do you do to get rid of him? Do you use the monitor like in Fnaf 1? Of course not! You bitch slap him. On phase 4, GF activates the low power mode. And actually that is kind of good, because I was getting worried that I would run out of power. And on phase 5, the last one, once again there is only GF active. But he's as aggressive as ever. Also the song gets very familiar. When 6 AM hits, our memory is completely wiped, and we are finally welcomed in the family. After finally giving it a try, I can see why everyone was going bonkers over this game. Not only has some unique and challenging mechanics, but it is super fun, hilarious, and interesting. It is a fan game with a heart of its own. But what do you guys think? Do you like the game? Would you like me to play another one? Tell me in the comments. Also, why don't you like and subscribe? It costs you nothing, and it means the world to me. Well, hopefully, I'll see you next video. Until then.